Good morning, everyone. So, how are you guys doing? I believe definitely y'all will be very healthy and wonderful. Today is our Friday. So, Friday, every Friday we have, a health session, which is a very good session where a lot of new things we are learning now. Okay, both ways, me and you yourself. All right. So, welcome everyone. Okay, today I don't have a co-host. I'll be managing myself. Okay, if any of the members here would like to take the responsibility of the co-host, just keep the audience mic and all. That's all you can do. So just put up your hand and make you as a co-host. Okay. So today we're going to talk about fat and the myth and the truth about fat. This is something that a lot of people are quite confused and lost when it comes to this. So your cooperation is very much needed here. So what I want you all to do is type in the questions as much early as possible. Okay, so that I would be able to pick the questions later towards end of the session. And also make the chatbot very active, put some emojis and all, make it very lively, and don't be too stressed. So today you will have a lot of take-home messages, which will be very benefit to each and everyone. Okay, because this is something that very confusing. A lot of people would get a shock to listen to the truth. Okay, always it's very interesting when you talk about something through here especially. Okay, so let's go in. So no takers for co-host yet. All right. Okay, all right. Thank you. Yes, I can make you co-host. Okay, all right. Thank you, Mr. Rajendra. Okay, so just keep everyone muted.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
So
Good morning.
good morning. Good morning. Okay, I already mute everyone. Just keep it muted as All right. Okay, when it comes to the truth about fat, okay, this is something very very interesting. Okay, all right. The biggest problem now, what we are facing is everyone wants the truth when it comes to themselves, but no one wants to be honest. Okay, this apply even in business, even in within our friendship and everyone. Okay, but what we see here, the basic of fat diet. Okay, whenever we talk about fat or anything about bad diet, okay, cholesterol is the most fearful. Okay, people are so scared of cholesterol, this one word. Why? Because
நாளைக்கு
it
போய் நாளைக்கு
causes a lot of health damage.
நாளைக்கு இந்த நீ
Okay, it causes a lot of health damage here. Okay, and what we can see here is it will lead you to high blood pressure, atherosclerosis, which can cause you to have a very bad coronary heart disease. This is the fear. What is the coronary heart disease is all about? It's just causing a blockage in your artery, and this will cause an heart problem here. Okay, practically this is how it looks like, and the blockage will cause in between here. Okay, and this is called heart attack. But is this really true? or false. Okay, this war is not just started now. In 19th centuries itself, this was a very big myth that everyone was quite confused. Okay, they do not know, and a lot of false information were posted and were portrayed, even were published. Okay, let's see more deeper. In 1957, okay, 1957, there is a doctor named by George L. Tropy. He has published a paper in a very reputable magazine which is called JAMA, J-A-M-A, Journal of American Medical Association. In this magazine, what is stated here is, I've enlarged this portion for you, excess weight. Okay, you see here for the excess weight issue, weight has become the medical problem, okay, of increasing importance in recent year. I mean, in 1956 itself, this has been a very big issue in the 90s. And this doctor is the only doctor who spoke about fat obesity, which is related to health. Okay, medical professions, they don't have time for educating the public, okay, on proper eating habit. This was not there, even at that point of time. Then, to lose weight is very, very simple. What you got to do to lose weight is most easiest, you see here, simplest and proper and most easily obtained high protein, high fat, low carbo, hydrated diet. Okay, that one is the most rapid loss of weight without hunger and weakness, lethargic, or constipation. Okay, this is what people, even now I'm telling people, okay, we need a lot of good fat. Okay, good fat. But what is good fat? This is the confusion here. Okay, what is good and what is bad? All the bad things has become good, the good things has become bad. Okay, and it's a very big myth here that people have this idea that eating fat make you fat and also make you sick. Okay, you become sick. Is this true? This is what is really going on. This is what people's understanding is. But how far is this true? Okay, you see, what has happened is, why do people believe this? Even in medical, a lot of doctors who believe this, and they are not even talking about this. The reason is, there is one guy named by Ansel Benjamin. He did a studies. Okay, that studies name, they call it as Ansel Key Studies. In what year? In 1950s. Okay, he did a study. And the best part of this studies is, this person, okay, was given a grant by the US government, 200,000 at that time, which is a very big money, to ask him to do a study to prove that what is the correlation of fat, which is known as cholesterol, towards the heart issues and mortality issues. But the best part here is, this person is qualified as BA Economic and PhD in Fishery Physiology. So it is not even a medical doctor. But that he came out with a theory the reduce of fat in US diet from 40% to 15% of the total calories cut saturated fat. Okay, this is the most saturated, from 15 to 4%. And then which everything will get better. American eat too much fat and most of it is saturated, which damage the arteries, which leads to coronary CAD, we call it. Okay, just remember CAD, coronary artery disease. This will be, I'm using a lot of terms in the rest of the sessions, so just don't get lost. What is CAD. You see, what happens is, in this study, the cholesterol is been predicted, which is the main cause for heart disease. This is what is been proved by this gentleman here. Okay, if you see here, okay, this is what is the actual, this is the actual published graph. Okay, this is the published graph which is amended all the data. In here is the real data. You see, there are so many different other countries which has been removed. Okay, you see, like number 11, which is Israel. Okay, and 12 is Italy. All these countries is very high. They eat fat and the mortality of CAD is very, very low. Even you see number 8, number 14. Okay, 14 is Mexico and Japan. Okay, it is very low, but they removed all this. They make this whole study favorable to them. Okay, they have changed the statistic, and in 1970 they published this paper claiming that as this is the fact that eating too much of saturated fat is causing coronary heart disease. And this is totally a lie in the science where they fake the data and published. Why? The reason is to create fear in people so that they can make more profit in many other ways. So obviously when you publish such a thing, a lot of people will start to ask questions. So what will be the next question is, what should I eat? Every time when we tell them something which is bad, this and that, they will ask, what is the solution for this, or what is the other stuff that we can eat? This is where in 1992, US Food, okay, they published the US Food FDA has come out with a food pyramid. This is totally unaccepted. Okay, you see, everything is upside down. All right, a good thing is supposed to eat less, the bad thing is supposed to eat more, and this is what they portrayed. Okay, so you can see here the grains, the olive, okay, vegetables and all. Okay, and the meat part is hiding here, which is meat, and this is all the dairy stuffs, and grains is here, fish is here, good ones. So this is cannot be used. Okay, but until now, this is the food pyramid which has been used in even small schools, primary education, lower educations, and all the little kids are learning about this, that totally, which is not correct, I would say. Okay, and this is another best and most funniest part here. This is US FDA as proposed in 2025. Look at what is there. Fruit vegetable based snacks 1 to 2 servings. Coca-Cola, Powerade, soda, energy 2 to 3 servings. Pasta, rice 2 to 3 servings. Yogurt, ice creams, snacks, and all. You see, if you were to go with this, chart, WHO has predicted another 7 years, diabetic mellitus will be 90% of the world population, and cancer will be 70% world population. I believe the 7 years is not too long. You and me are in this statistic, and the best part is our loved one and the children are in the statistic. And this is what will be in another 5 or in 2030 most probably. And this is what even now US diet is based on this. They have a lot of statistics and proof and this and that to claim that Burger King is such a good food. It is a very balanced kind of food. Baskin Robinson's is a very premier kind of stuff. McDonald's is very good and all. Even a couple of months back, I was sitting in Starbucks and I had an appointment. Not Starbucks. What is called that? It's another salad. It's like a bar. Then you take all this breads and you put in. I forgot even the name. And even I asked my friend there, would I had an appointment, Subway. Yeah, Subway. I said, hey, Subway is good or not? He said, hey, Subway is extremely good and fantastic. You see, people are, Subway, okay? They are totally lost. Okay? How can Subway become a good food? You see, anything which is processed cannot become real food. We are talking about real food. Okay, so this is why the reason is the consumers already stopped thinking. Okay, the business associate people are spending millions on advertisement, and they know how to attack you psychologically. They know how to grab you, and at night before you go to bed, they can implant that advertisement into your brain, so the next day morning you will be like a zombie looking for that particular what you watched in the TV. That much money they spend, but it doesn't work for me. But I don't know why that people, because I would say in a very simple way, the people are not aware they're doing a lot of mistakes, and then they are not aware of the much of risk they're exposing. They do not love themselves. This is the biggest problem. This is the saddest part here. Okay, so you see what is really going on. If this is the chart which is going to be applied in the future, and just what is going to happen, even in the primary schools and kindergartens, they are teaching this kind of stuff, and what is good. Cheese, the low quality cheese is good, the low quality bread is good, and this kind of stuff. And whenever they have any kind of party, sneakers will be there, and Coca-Cola it is a must and all. Even quite some time back, in the kindergarten, they had some party, it's one of my patients, and they're having all these pizzas and all. If I am the principal or I am the teacher, I would not allow all these things to happen. I would definitely will give the best food, and that will be part of my education for them. I will do that. Okay, so the guide of food here in terms of fat, I'm going to touch here. This is the most important part that you need to look into this literally here. You see the saturated fat. Okay, this comes from the meat, poultry, coconut, tropical plants, oil, palm oil, egg, and all these things. this is no carbon, no single carbon. Okay, the difference is if you keep this fat outside in room temperature, it will be normal. It will never dilute or nothing will happen. Even put it in the fridge, refrigerating, it will be remain same. If you take it out, it will be same. It's not going to be any different. But monosaturated is the second grade of saturated fat. Monosaturated fat is more to olive oil and nuts oil and all. So this is where when you put it outside, it will be clear. When you put it in the fridge, it will go hard like a butter. Okay, that's the only difference. This is double carbon and this is no carbon. Okay, polyunsaturated fat is the omega-3 and omega-6 manufactured. You must understand this part here. Manufactured vegetable oil. For goodness sake, you all got to understand almost, I would say 95% of seed oil which is claimed in the market is not coming from the seed. Not coming from the seed. Okay, you have to know that. Soya, okay, and all these stuffs, soya oil, peanut oil, sunflower oil, all this is totally out of question. This is the most danger, okay? But this is what people are eating now. You know why I say it is dangerous? I'll tell you here. We take an example of sunflower oil. If you going to eat sunflower, how many seeds can you eat? How many seeds? Okay. Maybe approximately 200 to 500 seeds. Most probably. Okay. You may munch this much. When you use sunflower oil for cooking, okay, what happens is you need to put at least 6 tablespoons of oil. This 6 tablespoon oil is roughly 60 ml. To produce a 60 ml of oil, you need easily approximately 700 plus thousand seeds to produce this oil. So you are eating that much. If that dish is been cooked with this kind of oil, if 2 person is eating, that means technically you divide this into 2, and your high inflammation, you will have extreme amount of inflammation, and this is what will block your heart. Okay, you see the mistakes here. Then we go to the trans fat. Is trans fat even worse than this polysaturated fat? Worst compared to this. Okay, worst. So all the people who do your cooking and then after that you reheat your food, this will be the polyunsaturated fat will be transformed to trans fat after you reheating it. So what is going to happen? So you are downgrading and downgrading and downgrading the food that you cooked. Even the polyunsaturated fat is already bad, then you are transforming that into a trans fat. So just imagine how bad are you making this. See, y'all get it this. I hope y'all really get this. Okay, this is extremely dangerous. Okay. So, you see how much of things, how many mistakes is happening there. How is the thing is been downgraded. Okay, let's keep seeing it, and we see where we end this with. Okay. Let me. Okay. All right. Okay. Then what happens is, you see, the best part here is the big culprit. We are cornered with every area. Okay. Then what happens? The American Heart Association, okay, is a very high reputable organization which we always trust. Everybody trusts this, and they are the one who controls the entire statistic of heart, diabetic, all this, hypertension and all. But they claim polysaturated fat, monounsaturated fat and polyunsaturated fat is the good fella. You see, this is the good fella. For them, this is very good. But whereby actually the good one is this fella. But where is this fella here? He become the bad fella. So they twist and turn with all these kind of studies where they made with these Anselke studies, and they have so many other studies which is proof to say that the bad became good, the good became bad. Why? Very simple. When you see, if I promote, now I am doing a lot of fasting techniques and all these things what we are doing, but this is not going to give money to the pharma industry. This is no money there, no revenue. If you eat 5 times a day, you're going to turn over the economic. But if you're going to eat 1 week once, or maybe 1 meal a day, you're cutting on 4 more meals there, which you will save a lot. Your economic will go up, but the restaurants, the rest of them, the economic will come down. So this is no business. This is not a business. A businessman will even tell that you should eat 10 times, 15 times, have more party. Everything will go good. So this is what happens during our pandemic. We were eating, but technically people are eating too much, in the house, but not as much as how they're having party, feast and this and that. All that was away. Then after a period of time, some came fat and some even came thin and, blah, blah, all this stuff. But the economic is being affected. Okay, we are here not to talk about economic. We are here to talk about our health. So you got to get this fact here that the good one here is this one. Saturated fat is the good. Okay. Then the ugly one is trans fat, obviously. Okay. But they know they have to put something to get something. All right. So here you see, let's see the good ones here. Monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fat can lower bad cholesterol level. That is a lie. That is not true. Can lower risk of heart and stroke. No, we don't see that in a statistic. Can provide essential fat that your body needs but can't produce itself. This is totally a rubbish. It is not true at all. Plant-based liquid oil, nuts, seeds, and fatty fish. This is totally, most of the oils are not even coming from nuts, not coming from seeds. You see, you have to understand that these nuts and seeds are very, very defensive and protective. Okay? They always comes with a lot of poisons in the seed. That is why you cannot take seeds too much, just 1 or 2. They are defensive. They are very defensive. They have a kind of chemical in it to the moment you start to process them, they will convert and defend themselves. Okay? Because there is life in it. The seeds has life in it. Okay? So this is where the seeds is normally, it is very, very, oxalate is very high, toxins is very high. Okay? And the oil is extremely minute level. Very, very minute level. Okay? Then they came out with all this theory to say all this stuff is good. And they will have a very beautiful endorsement. They will have a beautiful heart here to say, like that. Okay? This is good. Whenever you see this logo in any of the packaging you buy, that shows this will cause death. Okay? That shows that our heart will go down. And it also comes with FDA. We have FDA. Okay? That bad it is, and we are stuck here. Okay? And this is all the oil which is, they manage the color. All the oils are the same oil. If you have anyone who works in the oil industry, you can check with them. They have different times a kind of a centrifuge filters to come out with darker oil and all this kind of oil. Even here, this suet, where is the suet? I think this one, this is soya. There's one suet here, crystal, not sure. This one is very called, minyak kelapa sawit in oil palm in Malaysia. Even that is processed oil, which is not the real minyak kelapa sawit. Okay? So now you all will ask me what oil to use. Okay, I hope I don't get the question. Huh? All right. So practically, you see, the science what we have here, it is all been fake news and fake data. This has convinced people to believe fat is bad for health. And this is what they've been thinking. So how carbohydrate became a good food? Okay. So they start to inject carbohydrates into people's diet. This is what happens. And they have another studies here in 1977, McGovern report, they came out and said dietary goals for US government, they implement this. And then 84, there is a Center of Science in Public of Interest, concern everyone to change the animal fat is bad, go to vegetable oil. And this is totally unexpected, which is bad for health. Then the US FDA, came out with food pyramid. They're changing the food pyramid upside down. Okay, so the whole thing changed up, and this, if you change the pyramid, then it looks right. If the pyramid is like this, you turn it around, then it will work. So this doesn't work. The same pyramid, you turn it around, it looks good. Okay, so then they proved that this is, the bad became good, the good became, encourage the propagation that fat is bad and carbo is good. This is what happened. In 2010, dietary guidelines has been recommended, and they have recommend what saturated fat should be reduced less than 7% in daily intake of human being. All right. So what this has did, therefore, a massive increase in carbo, massive increase. Everybody starts to increase carbohydrates, and that is what is happening now. The entire nation's food, that's why Malaysia is the fattest country in Asia Tenggara. I think maybe in the whole world ranking, we will be 3 or number 4. I think so. Okay. The first one is USA. Okay. US. So this you all go and check, and intake occurs through all of these coronary heart disease has increased, never reduced. If this theory is correct, carbo is the best, coronary heart disease should be coming down. But the world population, BMI increased by 30%. USA is number one. I think we must plug in Malaysia is somewhere around here, I think. Okay. So where we stand. If you really were to see, time to think, please start to think. Okay. Don't blindly think that all these myth theories is correct. No. If it is correct, I always tell my members, okay, I always tell them, it's very simple. What you got to do is you always check your reference point is your great-grandfathers. They are your reference point. Check on them. What they do and what they eat is always been the best. All right. So let's see a little bit on here. Animal don't get heart disease. The domestic cat and dog now do get heart disease because people are even giving them human food. Because domestic cats and dogs don't eat, their food, and a lot of dogs even do not know that they are a dog. They think they are a human. That is the biggest problem. They have a cardiac arrest, this and that. That is the veterinarians' one's business, though they have changed the entire human diet. The human side, the farmer here has changed the human diet, and that side, the Veterinarian Association has changed the animal diets so that the business is there. Okay, we see here, this Maasai in Tanzania, and these are the people, they eat pure meat, raw meat, and the portion of meat is very large, and they do not have any heart issues. And Arctic Aboriginal tribes in Malaysia, Orang Asli, when I worked in the government sectors, I have never seen this Orang Asli come for cardiac arrest, no. But now they also do have these issues. And they consume more than 60%, these tribes. And they have the lowest heart problem. Okay? And the best part here is, see, this part. Breast milk has 54% saturated fat. This is God made. God has designed us with having this amount of fat in our milk. Human milk, mother's milk, breast milk. Do you think still we are wrong? Saturated fat has always been the best, and that is God made for us. We have evolved for 2.5 million years, and we don't have to teach the human system what is right and what is wrong. You see, we have transformed almost 100,000 generation. Okay, we have transformed this much of generation, and we have done 600 generation on farming, and 200 generations of this modern world. And what is this and what is this? We have a gene in the system, and we all have been, at one point of time, we have been hunter-gatherers, and we earned our calorie. For each meal, we earn our calorie. Now, there are so many people do not lift a little finger to get food. The food comes direct on the plate, on the table, on the plate. This is the issue. Those days we have to earn the food. We have to hunt the food, and we have to run for it. Then you catch and you eat. You don't have a balanced diet. There's no such thing as balanced diet. There's no diet. There's no salad. There's nothing. It's only meat and fat. Okay? The whole thing has changed now because they have a lot of conspiracy theories, this and that. And this is what happens. The cholesterol level that is 150 mg significantly reduce your risk of heart. Here you got to understand this part is, you see, the cardiac issues, the death rate increased by 14% when you reduce the fat, the cholesterol in your diet, okay, which is saturated fat. Okay, saturated fat, when you reduce 1 mg, okay, drop per year, okay, per year, the heart risk increased by 14%. This was published in Journal of American Medical, okay, Journal of American Medical Association, JAMA, in 30 years of follow-up of Framingham study. You see, we have tons of, articles to prove. The both sides are debating, both sides are fighting. One side is saying saturated fat is always the best. Another side is telling no, polyunsaturated fat is the best. But I am asking you all a simple question. Okay? We have sense to think. We have heart. And we are educated people. Go and look for God-made food. God has made us. God has made food for us too. Processed food is not the answer. Okay? Mother's milk, why it comes with 54% of saturated fat? If saturated fat is bad. Do you think the nature will do mistakes? Never. God will never do mistakes. Now, we are in the era where God has gone crazy. Either God is not smart and human being, the science has become more smarter. Genetically modified everything has become seeded, become seedless, and so much of change, and this is part of it. Okay, but why we have to buy that story? That is my question. Okay, why do we have to buy all this story from them? To make them richer. All right. So in this whole thing, what has happened? Okay, 535% increase intake on vegetable oil. Isn't this sounds crazy? 535 increase in vegetable oil. 1150% increase in sugar intake. Sugar, it is not human food. Simple. Don't ask me what sugar to eat. God never made sugar. All these sugars is made by human. Now we have tons and different types of sugar. Stevia is another, business. All this is business. It's to make money. Molasses came first. Transportation was an issue. Then they crystallized it. Storage was good. Now the crystal sugars, you can store it for years. No problem. You can keep them for years. So that is another biggest problem there. 1150, 83% decreased saturated fat. 200 increase in chicken intake, 30% decrease in red meat intake. But all this happening as per needed by targeted or portrayed or whatever we can say as per the USD guidelines, FDA. Why does the heart rate is still going up and up and up and up? Going sky high like that. And there is any hospital, they cannot accommodate that much of heart issues. Where do we stand? What is really happening? what is the real issue of where is the issue? Where is the mistake? Why does people have high cholesterol? Where is the high cholesterol come? Where is the mistake? You see, the mistake is in sugar. Sugar is the main culprit. And carbo. This is the biggest problem. And this is what people are eating today. And your diet comes with all this. And this is why as people are getting fat and fat and fat and fat and fat. And what is the best part is becoming fatter and fatter. We are becoming as hormonal changed human being now. We are the new version, the new era, the new technology human is called hormone, modified version. Okay, and this is so dangerous. That's why the proportion of the human being is coming so different. The belly is jetting out in so different way, where the belly even comes like, this is the body. Okay, human body is like this. The belly comes like that, and then it flows. The belly can flow like that, and then it goes in back. And then his pants is here. Okay, he puts his pants here. Okay, and even the belly comes like that. It's jetting, and even some people has big belly. This is your sugar, your carbo. You are storing it as your fixed deposit, FD. For those even in the exam, you should work on this. Okay, you should work on this, because I will explain to you why you got to work on this. This is a very serious matter. Very, very serious matter. Okay, we go to this part, and this way you have to pay a little attention here for you to understand the correlation of your mistakes. Okay, it's very simple. I'll make it very easy for you. Okay, see, when you take a lot of carbo and sugar, what is carbo? Is rice, your bread, cakes, cookies, coffees. Okay, see, teas and coffees are good, but if it comes with sugar, why does DXN comes with a lot of coffee, different types of varieties, with sugar, without sugar, with synthetic, without synthetic and all? The reason is for this. So you can take limit. You should increase the intake of non-sugared coffee more. Keep the sugar coffee low. That's why now we are having tea version for superb result. So even during fasting, you can take coffee without creamer and without sugar. That is our black coffee. Superb. It is I've spoke about coffee. Okay, y'all definitely understand how powerful is coffee in burning. So the carbohydrates, when you take, it puts all the load on your liver, because the liver has to communicate with the pancreas to produce insulin. Okay, so the pancreas will be so bad and overloaded, and it has to come out with so much of issues here, and there will be a major problem for you. Okay. What will happen when then the liver will start to produce visceral fat? The liver stores 120 grams of glycogen, okay, of sugar, you can say, okay, in standby mode for emergency purpose. All right. When there is so much of sugar in your system, the insulin produce, okay, that's where the saturated fat is so low. The intake of saturated fat become too low, and you are taking too much carbohydrates, Quaker oats, Nestum, all these stuffs, and eating thosai, idli without coconut chutney. Remember, take the point, note that. Okay, with koli curry, with mutton curry, with chicken curry, when you take your idli, the glycemic index of that stuff will shoot high. Why we take with coconut? To cut the glycemic index down. That's why we're putting in the coconut. The coconut comes with saturated fat and comes with fiber. Okay, this is very important. So in DXN, what you can add in here? Myco veggie into your chutney. So you are pulling the carbo down so that the liver don't have to produce insulin. This is a powerful mechanism. You got to master this. When anyone has high insulin, the problem here is very simple. When your body comes with a lot of sugar in any form, it needs insulin. Insulin is floating in your body. Okay, in your body, too much insulin is floating. Okay, this will become a big alarming issue for everything: fertility, rectal dysfunction, obesity, mind fogging, everything. Just can write whatever list you want. And this is what happens. Then the visceral fat will be transformed, and the fat will start to accumulate in your belly. Then the belly will looks like this. Okay. Okay. What happens is then high blood pressure, your hypertension will shoot up. That is why now a lot of people, even the young age, have hypertension for 160 over 110 and so on. Okay, there's no point we are putting this patient on a pressure medication without changing the root cause. The lifestyle is extremely bad. Definitely this kind of patient is loaded with so much of carbo into their diet. You have to cut this off. Have to cut this carbohydrate intake. This is very important and very, very crucial to save this person. Then what will happen? The testosterone will start to drop. When the testosterone starts to drop, your growth hormones will start to drop. Testosterone drop, growth hormones drop. This will drop what? Your muscle. That's where people cannot have muscles. This is also will cause a lot of flabby hands here, like a flag will be, flagging in your hand here, like this. Okay, all this is fat. This is due to high carbo, high insulin. This will what will happen. When you have high insulin into your system is floating around, and any amount of sugar goes in, it gets burns and burns and burns. Everything will transform to a fat, putting it inside. If your FD, Okay, your fixed deposit will never come out. Will never come out. Once you put it in, it lock. You put it in, it locks. Why? Forever you are having high insulin. Why forever you are having high insulin? You are eating every single hours, every 2 hours, every 3 hours, 3 meals, 4 meals, 5 meals. This is where the carbo is going on. Okay, I'm repeating this all a couple of times so that BP, high blood pressure comes up, your testosterone goes down, erectile dysfunction comes in place, growth hormone comes in place. The worst part, even depletes the nitrite oxide. The nitrite oxide is another chemical which is produced by the body to dilate your vessels, dilate your arteries and all. Okay, even we spoke about this nitrite oxide. Okay, you have to tape your mouth and sleep, breathe through your nose to produce nitrite oxide. When you do all these mistakes, this even go down. All right, then you will come successfully to metabolic syndrome. The key here is this part, another biggest problem, metabolic syndrome. Now, the many people are flooded and loaded with metabolic syndrome unknowingly, and also diabetic, pre-diabetic, post-diabetic, and diabetic all the same. Don't feel too excited because you are pre-diabetic. No, you are a diabetic. Remember that. When you have a belly, like this, you are a diabetic. Okay? Don't wait for your sugar reading. Why? Because your insulin is too much. And one fine day, the pancreas will say, I am not going to produce any more insulin. Go to hell. Close restriction. Insulin resistance starts to take place. Why do you have to wait until to that extent? Take action immediately. You see? So this is what will happen to you. You will start to have insulin resistant. Any one of these out of these 5, you have 3 symptom out of this, you are metabolic syndrome. Any one of these, insulin resistant, visceral obesity, your pants should be less than 42 cm. Hypertension should be 110 over the normal pressure is 110 over 70. Anything this side and this side is hypertension. Okay, 130. Now everyone is 130. I don't know what is really happening, because you are non-stop eating. High triglyceride. Remember, high triglyceride. This is another issue. Okay, high triglyceride. Why high triglyceride is because you are having, you see, when your sugar reading, when your cholesterol reading, you have HDL, which is high, and you have a TG, which is low. This is high risk for cardiac issues. Remember. Okay. The LDL is not so much an issue, always will be a little higher. It is okay. Okay. So do something. Okay. And low HDL. All right. So any one of this, you have metabolic syndrome. So what we going to do now? How DXN can help you. Okay. How DXN can help you? The first rules here is, first, reduce sugar and your carbo. Okay. Second, add all the enzymes in DXN. DXN has lovely enzymes. Okay. Morinzi, zyme, codipine, VCO, myco-veggie. This is very important. Myco-veggie, you don't have to take like 1 big spoon, 2 big spoon, no need. Just take every of your meals, small tables, teaspoon, 2 teaspoon is good. Okay, teaspoon, teaspoon, the small one, 2. 1 day is enough. Why you need fiber? Fiber is to feed your bacteria. Bacteria and virus, whatever other microorganisms need fiber. They live on this. Once you have good bacteria in your intestine, then it will start to increase the efficacy of your good nutrition which goes into your system. Then RG, GL, everything. Don't keep asking for what disease. What for what? For what? Then you're for what again? Don't ask what. Just do. Just do it. Don't ask question. DXN is a lifestyle. Okay? So change your food, change your mind, change your coffee, change your entire things, and learn how to live like a beautiful, lovely human being. Okay? We cannot be having this kind of figure here. We cannot. What is this? Is this what we come here for? No. You are killing your liver. You're killing your pancreas, your heart. You are killing them. Killers. See, this is so dangerous. See, now what I am doing is gradually, if you are eating 4 meals per day, pull it to 3. First week you go for 4, then you go for 3, then you go for 2, then go for 1. All right. Then what you do, this is 24 hours you take 1 meal. Then 40, increase these hours. Okay, add another 7 hours, most probably 31 hours. Go, keep increasing. Then you come until 3 days. Okay, 3 days. 1 meal. All right. I'm doing this now. Okay, because I really experienced such a wonderful things in me now, the journey which I'm transporting and traveling now in this couple of days back. Okay. What is really happening is the body is getting lighter, body is getting smaller, and so much. My meals for today is 3 egg in the morning. Okay, that's it. And then evening I add 1 little piece of fish. Okay, that's it. No rice, nothing. A little one, very little one. And then a lot of water. My black coffee, DXN black coffee. Now I'm having my 5th one. Okay. And all the other things. Spirulina, but quite a number of spirulina I didn't count, and all the rest is going on. I stopped all my sugar coffees. I increased my black coffee. Okay. So even now I'm still having my black coffee here in front of me. Okay. And I made a resolution to do my stepper. Y'all can see, I show you. Okay. Gradually increase it. Okay. So the day before yesterday, I did 30,000. Okay. Today I did 21,000 because it was raining. Even this 21,000 I did it in raining, and one day I was not able to do, and all my resolutions here you see, gradually it is increasing. Okay, increasing. Okay, my goal is to do like 50,000 steps per day. Working on it, gradually increase. A lot of people ask this question, you don't get tired, this and that, you train little by little. Go climb the, ladders first. When you want to run a marathon, 42 kilometer, okay, you don't go and immediately sign up a marathon and you run for 1 kilometer, and then you go gradually up and up and up and up, and one fine day you will be able to do 42. Then maybe after you're doing 42 a couple of times, you get very, very boring, and then you may want to do triathlon. Okay, running, cycling, and so on, or Ironman. Okay, I'm planning for my Ironman for 2023 or 24. Okay, because Ironman is one of my bucket list. So I'm still young, only 25. So I got to finish my Ironman goal before I get older, right? So I want to take this momentum now with the spirits what I have with in me. I'm going to push it all over and go very fast. Okay, and I'm going to build this. Okay, this is what. All right. So we come to the end of the session already. Thank you so much for hearing. Okay, and let's see what we have. What are the questions we have from the audience? And okay.
No questions, Doctor, so far.
So far, either they are very sad or they are happy.
Mr. Nixon is also there.
Okay, you see, life is all about being, inspired. You need the power. They need the energy, the enthusiasm. You see, I don't know why that people don't have this. You see, I am, pushing myself. I do this always. Okay, even now when I'm doing my steps just now, early morning I went and I did my 10,000 steps and I came back. Then evening I wanted to do 20,000 steps to do 30. But what happened was, heavy rain. It went, I brought all my clothing in my car. I have it. Okay. So, but, the thunder was what was, I was a little worried about that thunder. The thunder was too strong. Suddenly if I'm not, I'm not thunder protected, or, suddenly you cannot thunder, then you'll finish. That's it. So I did another couple of almost 1 hour in the rain. You see, push yourself. We have to do wonderful things. Okay, even in DXN, that's what I always tell. And today, one of my friend told me, the son has COVID. The father is taking DXN. My question is, why the son is not taking DXN? He said, no. Why? His life is no value, or only the father's life has a value? I don't know why people are so naive. Is this naive, or what word can I give for this? Maybe y'all can suggest some words, put it in the chat box. Okay, why the father is taking the action, why the son is not taking the action? In fact, the son's food is so much of high with carbohydrates. Okay, you see, anything goes wrong, okay, and unexpected things happen. Why we need all this risk? After all, this is a life. It's not that people tell me there's no money. I will not agree to this, because we're spending a lot of things on other things. You see, we got to protect and change all this. Life is extremely valuable. Okay, this is one-time journey. We don't know what is going to happen after this. Okay, so please value it and give the best of the best of the best to yourself. Okay, and do the same thing as how much love you're giving to yourself. Give that much of love to the others, to the business, to everything, to DXN, to yourself, to your children, your wife, and everybody. Okay, care for them, give them. If they don't want to eat, we have to put in our power. Say, I have to explain to them, must eat. Sometimes when I give, VCO to my family or my kids or anything, and when she don't eat, then I make noise. You have to open your mouth, put it in, swallow. Don't give me all these reasons. You see, so this is important because sometimes they don't know. But I don't know why only the father eat, only the mother eats, the children don't eat, so calculative and this and that, They tell me you cannot even afford a coffee, you cannot even afford a black coffee, you cannot afford a speaker tea. No, it's not that. But you're still drinking a coffee or buying outside for 17 ringgit. You top up another couple of ringgits to get this because it's not important for you. That's why people are not getting healthier. Okay, please. Okay, every time when we lose a life, so sad. It's extremely sad. It's something that death is something that we cannot deal with. Okay, so it is so painful. Okay, so I believe that the message has gone to everyone. Okay, do carbohydrates break down into sugar? Yes, carbohydrates will be converted into sugar and it will keep into storage if we are not using it. So either we are active and all is good. Okay, so we can enjoy food, we can enjoy, but remember always, there's so many ways you can do fasting. Okay, so fasting is something that you should practice regularly. Okay, if you can't do 1 day fasting, do it hourly. Okay, then you can have like 1 or 2 meals per day, so in between you have a long period of hours. Okay, I've seen the record of people doing 70 days, 90 days only water. Okay, I'm planning for 3 days soon. So this Ramadan coming, I wanted to do for 30 days. So see how it goes. I don't know. So it's going to be a very big challenge. The challenge, maybe I can do it, but people will force me to eat, That's the problem. Come eat. That will be the biggest issue here. So fasting is something.
Dr. Ranjan is waiting.
Yeah, okay. Fasting is good, but do it very carefully. Drink water and all. But it's leave it to you how you can control and do it as it is. Okay. Yes, doctor, may speak.
Good morning, Dr. Firdaus.
Good morning, doctor.
Good morning, doctor.
Thanks for your nice lecture, very informative, and more than that, thought-provoking.
Yes.
So I always say that medicine is full of controversy. So it is extremely difficult to accept
Yes.
what is right and what is bad, in any forum. So as far as a diet goes, of course, we have changed our diet pattern for the past 100 years, 200 years, and that is harming a lot.
Yes.
So, in my view, we need, we need to take very, very balanced sort of approach to our dietary habits. It's always said, one man's diet may be another man's poison. There is so much of, what shall I say, a difference in the diet what we take in different regions of this world. We have the Indian diet, the Asian diet, the Mediterranean diet, and the typical Western diet. So when you go to a restaurant, they present you with a menu card, which will contain all these kinds of diets. But traditional diets were what we have been following for many centuries. They are good, they are healthy. So we, the modern man, so-called the modern man, if you call it maybe in 100 and 200 years, as our knowledge goes up, we also become ignorant of so many things. We think it is right and we advise. But the problem is which diet is good, which diet is bad. We cannot 100% say it with dogmatically we can say, we cannot say it. So if it's a good diet, it should not harm our health. That's what it means. So every, the component of the diet is good, but we should not exceed our limits. So carb is good. Keep it, to the desirable intake. Maybe that, usually we have been taking carbohydrates, rice for so many centuries or even thousands of years. So what did we take? We took the hand pounded rice, what do you call it, the red rice that contains more of fiber. Now what is happening today? We polish, and we want it very, so white, and that is not healthy. Polished rice. So those days, we used to take parboiled rice. Even in Kerala, they use red rice. So carb is good, but the thing is, how much carb to take is very important. How much fat to take is very important. What type of fat that you are taking is important. And the proteins, the building blocks, as we say, proteins, we derive from various sources, from the plant source or from the meat. Fish is a healthy source of protein, and also healthy fat, the fish oils. So lot of changes we have gone through in our dietary habits, and that has made us unhealthy. And one thing I see nowadays is that a lot of children, school-going children, are overweight. They are chubby. It's a caution to the parents that a chubby child is not a healthy child. They tend to get all these lifestyle diseases or this metabolic syndrome at a very, very early age. Be cautious. Don't overfeed your child. Absolutely, it is dangerous. So it's also important that we need to eat when we are hungry. In Tamil, they used to say, "Pasittu pusi." When you are hungry, only you should eat. What is happening today, as Dr. Firdaus pointed out, every hour, you dump something in, right? Then the whole our system goes wrong. So there's a lot of things to share. Very controversial subject when it comes to a diet. And one example is about the oils, which is a healthy oil. Again, as Dr. Firdaus pointed out, all the refined oils are not healthy. A healthy oil is our traditional coconut oil, our gingerly oil. Olive oils is good, but it cannot be used in Indian recipe. And even palm oil is good. But the problem comes, with a lot of processing. With the modern technology, you heat up to 500 degrees Celsius. I repeat, 500 degrees Celsius to extract the oil. What happens when you heat it up to 500 degrees Celsius? Totally the oil is denatured. Whereas the oil that is made from our ancestral days, chicken, what do you call that? So whatever be the kind of oil, they are good, because when you process that, the heat is only 45 degrees Celsius or maximum 50 degrees Celsius. So oil will not get denatured. There is no coloring agent. There is no stabilizer. For shelf life to increase, they add a lot of chemicals, stabilizers. So all these refined oils, double refined, triple refined, they are very dangerous. So use the oil in the natural form. That is the best. So again, it's a controversial subject. So there is so much to talk, but at least certain things, I want to point out. And when it comes to when also the exercise, Dr. Firdaus was saying that he was doing 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, and he talked about his target also. Good. If you are able to do it, good, better. More, it's good. But one caution: it may not be 100% good, because you end up with something else. I've seen people ending up with the arthritis, very bad arthritis. So we need to be careful. Of course, we need to exercise, and at least in my thinking, I practically say about 3 to 5 miles a walk, a brisk walk a day is more than enough. It will increase your blood circulation. You burn your calories. You are able to maintain an ideal body weight. And I'm talking about the obesity. It is said, longer the belt, shorter the life. So we need to be very careful on that. Don't try to be within your ideal weight. That's always good. Definitely it will help you to maintain good health. So there are so many points, which can be we can go on discussing on and on and on and on. But at least some of the important things I want to just draw to your attention, and be active. That is very important. The sedentary life definitely is not good. As Dr. Firdaus rightly pointed out, now we don't raise our finger, and we want all the 5 meals a day or even 6 meals a day. Yeah? So, okay, 3 meals a day is okay, but one or even good meal, 1 meal a day is good, but still, many people may not be comfortable with 1 meal. Okay, 2 meal is good meal. And there in your diet, take care of your components, take care of your carbohydrates, and carbs, of course, the body needs. Fat, the body needs. And also the protein, the body needs. You have to eat in moderation. That is very, very important. But unfortunately, what is happening today is we indulge in overeating. All these junk or highly processed foods, and a lot of sugars, refined sugars. So in a DXN, the sugars are sulfurless and organic sugars. Very little that is added in our coffee or what with other beverages. It's a healthy sugar, right? So our body requires the basically the sugars from the carbohydrates, healthy carbohydrates. And when we talk about sugar, we talk about the simple sugars and the complex sugars, like glucose, fructose. They're all simple sugars where it can be rapidly absorbed by the body, and that tend to increase your blood sugar levels and leads to needs a lot of insulin also to burn that. So we should not exhaust our insulin. So I think there is a lot to talk. It's an endless subject, and one should decide what is healthy for him. So be careful with your dietary habits. Learn healthy dietary habits, and have a healthy uh, workup. That's what I want to share, and it's very very exhaustive topic to go through all the points. At least the basic things I have shared. I think that will be useful for you, and especially for all the parents. See that your child is not chubby, and don't overfeed them. Don't make them glued to the television or the mobiles, or that is like a time bomb. You are killing your child because the child is physically inactive. Maybe brain wise, you can get a lot of you can do a lot of things, but healthiness of the physical body is very very important. So focus on that. See that your family is healthy. As we grow, definitely the aging process will happen. And one thing I want to point out is that the the human race, this is what I have knowledge, what I have gathered. The human race is prone for atherosclerotic heart disease. That is the deposition of cholesterol in the arteries, which leads to blockages, heart attacks, strokes, or other form of arterial diseases. And it's not only cholesterol, which cholesterol contributing to the what shall I say, this atherosclerosis is only a part, just one part. When we talk about inflammation and so many things now. So cholesterol theory is controversial. Some of the points may be a myth. So please go through whatever information is provided by you, and then choose what is healthy. Good habits, good diet habits, and you will be free from disease at least 60 to 70 years. Then after that, the aging process will start, but very minority of the people only, they can be healthy after 70. And what we see is who are living longer and healthy. I think the Japanese and the Chinese, and that may be partly genetic, partly because of their dietary habits. So my advice is, be careful with your dietary habits and keep yourself brisk and active. Eat a healthy diet and stay healthy. And all the DXN products are meant for health. So don't restrict your intake of DXN products. Anything you like, you just take it. That will be support your health. Thank you, Dr. Firdaus.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for all the. That's why, as Doctor said, this topic is something that very interesting. We can go on and talking, for the whole day also. That much of information. But only one thing that I wanted to share with everyone, since they was even asking, what to eat and all. You see, the most important, what you got to avoid. Okay, very simple, processed food. Okay, the one you see in the screen, this is the biggest culprits. Please don't, even for leisure purpose also, I don't take this. Okay, I keep it to that extent. Okay, so the world, the technology is so advanced now. Even now, to twist and turn people's mind and knowledge. Fiber is good, so they add fiber into the drink, and then they put fibers good. Then they also give the benefits of what fiber can do for you in that bottle. See, they also have Coca-Cola with fiber. The kind of so many things are coming into market now. Okay, they are doing their part as an entrepreneur, as a business. They are putting the profit margin and all. We have to play our role here as a consumer, and also we have to educate our loved one, and especially the children's, what to take, what not to take. Okay, this is very important. Okay, using all this kind of stuff. Once in a while is okay, but what is the definition of once in a while? There's a lot of people, their once in a while is like weekly. Weekly is once in a while. Okay,
every day, once in a while.
Every day, once in a while. Okay, once in a day is once in a while for them. So in DXN, that's why we also have the beverages, So definitely y'all might have a question, DXN sugar how? Okay. Yes, our sugar is lower, as Dr. Ranjan pointed out. Our sugar is sugarcane sugar, organic sugar. It is not the crystallized sulfate sugar. So which is minimum. Okay, that is less sugar. So you manage it. It is your right to manage it. Okay, so that's why I always tell is, if you take one with sugar, you can take 2 coffee without sugar. If you're a coffee lover, you want to have more coffee. But generally, people will take like 1 coffee in the morning, 1 coffee in the evening, or 1 coffee in the morning, 1 tea in the evening. That is up to you. Okay, so keep along with the fiber. Don't take too much of fruits. Fruits is also now what we have in the market is so bad. Okay, everything is genetically modified, injected with so much of things, and the fruits doesn't taste good. Don't spend the money on the fruits. Spend it on spirulina, is much better. Spend it on the micro veggie. It's superb, I tell you. Micro veggies, why one bottle one person eat, I think can go for 3 months. That bottle is so big. Okay, so this is how you have to play with it. All right. Exercise, remember one thing. When Dr. Ranjan mentioned about exercise, I always wanted to share. You see, when I don't run, I walk. Okay, all the steps I do is walking. Okay, but slowly catching up. It depends on your ability. You see, there are so many people out there, they are running and they're pushing themselves. But I always keep thinking in my mind, what do these people eat? Some people even come and tell me, hey, I can run, I can run 5 kilometers, They eat roti canai. They eat oats. They drink milk. They take protein shakes. But in what way that's going to benefit them? You see, losing weight is not the idea. Letting go the weight. Letting go. Losing is gaining. Anything you lose, you would like to gain it back. Okay, remember that. The terminology, you need to put it, the affirmation to the cells is very important. Let go the weight. So let go, you don't want. Then how you want to let go? You should learn first rules how to eat correctly, balance calories, balance for your body. So that you don't have to run and run and run and lose weight. If you lose weight, after you stop running, you're going to gain it back. So what's going to happen? You should remain slim and healthy even without 2 legs. I always tell people that if you don't have 2 legs, then what are you going to do? You cannot be healthy. You cannot be running, but you have to be healthy. So health comes with us until to the right of the end of our journey. But the end of the journey, whether we will be walking, we will be crawling, or we will be running, we don't know. That it depends on how much of care and you put in now. So the most important is learn how to eat the right way, the right food, which is good for you. Okay, you can have some party, but when you have a party, you pay for the price. There's a tax your body will implement. The tax is where fasting comes. So next week, we're going to talk about the benefit of fasting. I think that is very important, because now we already talk about, what are the things in terms of food. So how fasting is already benefit. With DXN, the fasting become super benefit. So how are you going to integrate our DXN products to make your fasting super fasting? Okay, so it is fasting but not like fasting. Okay, do business but not like do business. Do farming without doing farming. So the same technique, do fasting like without fasting. So that is our way in
Dr.
DXN.
Santosh,
Yes, doctor.
I will put it this way: intermittent fasting.
Yes. So
Yeah.
how are you going to make it superb with all our products
On a daily
RGGL?
basis. On a daily basis.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. That's the best. Okay, on daily basis. That's the best. So don't come for TSI with fasting. TSI we enjoy. After go back, you fasting. All
No
right. Oh,
fasting, feasting.
yes, fasting. So yes, Dr. Puan. This will be the last question, then we will wind it up.
Yeah, thank you very much, Doc, and also Dr. Ranjan, for your fabulous sharing today. Good morning. I just want to share about my neighbors back in Melbourne. I've got three neighbors actually. One is 97, the other one is 98, and one more is 95. So, what kind of diet are these people on? So these people in the 90s, what I observe, knowing them for years now, is they, as like Dr. Ranjan rightly put it earlier, it all depends on what kind of food they're used to and what their body is craving for. Just it's just three case studies that I've been observing over the years. So one, they take milk, they take fresh milk, cow's milk, and they take cheese, you know they take cheese. And the one thing that, and they love their sweets, Australians love their desserts, and these three people, they actually love their desserts, they love their fruit cake, they love their sweets, their chocolates and things like this, and yet they are living such a long life. And one of the things that I really notice that they do, they keep active. Even though they are in their 90s, they are very active. They are doing their gardening, they go swimming, they walk. And the other thing is they are really very, very happy people. They never take life seriously at all, and they love entertaining people. So these are some of the things that I would like to share. I think that has contributed immensely to their longevity, and also their genes probably. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes, yes. Thank you, doctor. Yes, there is some very lucky souls out there like that. I wish we
Yeah,
can do
more
that
than the
as well.
diet, there are a lot of factors they play a part in aging and disease.
Yes.
But diet is a very strong factor,
Yeah.
which, of course, we are, totally we have gone wrong. At least this generation. Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah.
Too much. Yes, yes. That's the thing. All right. So we'll come to the end. Okay. So I will end the session here. So thank you so much for everyone. Okay, for coming in, for participating and asking question, and for all the people was keeping the chat board active. I would like to thank them as well. Okay, and also like to thank Dr. Ranjan's Nemisar and my Rajendra for the co-host, and also Mr. Nemisar. Okay, so don't forget, next week will be the benefit of fasting and how we're going to double up the benefit with DXN products. That will be the title. Okay, so see y'all on next Friday. Have a wonderful and safe, very safe, because now everywhere we are hearing COVID and this and that. So keep yourself safe and very healthy.